exactly the actual level of radiation. Now we know it was between 10,000 and 12,000 röntgens per hour. At that level of radioactivity, people never should have been sent.
7 months after the explosion, the zone has been cleaned up and the sarcophagus completed. 500,000 people, military and civilian, have participated in the operation.
Our sarcophagus is a pantheon, a tomb, a mausoleum. Our second mausoleum. After that, we stopped building nuclear power plants.
A bitter victory from which the country will never recover. The first snow has started to stick on Chernobyl. For authorities, this proves the sarcophagus is airtight, at least for 30
November
years,
22nd.
or so they predict. The liquidators have gone home. Reactors 1, 2, and 3 are back up and running. The first battle of Chernobyl has ended in a victory that heralded the end of the USSR. But for many, it also marks the beginning of a war that 20 years later still hasn't ended. For the hundreds of thousands of atomic refugees, as for the hundreds of thousands of veterans from the Battle of Chernobyl, the fight against their invisible enemy hasn't let up. Everyone who went to Chernobyl is still suffering from the radioactivity their bodies absorbed. In the months following the accident, the liquidators flooded into hospitals all over the Soviet Union. 20 years later, those who are still alive continue to frequent Hospital Number 6. They're all victims of what specialists have since named the Chernobyl syndrome.
We all got a bunch of symptoms: heart, stomach, liver, kidneys, nervous system. Our whole bodies were radically upset by the metabolic changes caused by radiation and chemical exposure.
These men weren't even 30 when they were sent in to battle the atom. Today, the survivors are not yet 50 years old, but they struggle like senior citizens. According to the military, of the 500,000 Chernobyl liquidators, 20,000 have already died. 200,000 are officially disabled.
Во-первых, по здоровью не знаешь потом, сколько проживешь, от чего ты умрешь.
You don't know what effects it will have on your children if you have any.
Если дети зарождаешься.
We know all that. And we know the invisible enemy is eating away inside.
Hey guys, so what you guys gonna say? Play the chat, I'll read it. I'm just relaxing now, having some fun this Tuesday afternoon.
Little by little, we're slipping away from this world.
Yet for 2 decades, only 59 deaths have been officially attributed to the Chernobyl disaster. Not a single study has been carried out of the 130,000 refugees from the zone. Not a single statistic on the state of the 500,000 liquidators. No figures on the population that continues to live around Chernobyl and in the contaminated areas. The real amount of radiation these people were exposed to has never been revealed to them. The United Nations recently reported an increase in rare childhood thyroid cancer cases, but it found no evidence of higher birth defect rates that could be tied to the accident. Some charities and environmental groups disagree, citing local data that showed much higher rates for various deformities and developmental abnormalities in newborns.
Yeah.
Since 2001, the 3 Chernobyl reactors have been shut down once and for all. But 20 years after the explosion, the dosimeter flies off the chart at the base of the sarcophagus. High levels of radioactivity, 100 times above normal, are still contaminating the plant's surroundings. The structure has been weakened by rain and erosion. Since its construction, 3,000 liquidators have been watching over it, trying to ward off damage.
We built the sarcophagus to last 30 years, thinking that 30 years after the explosion, we could build a new sarcophagus without people having to run because of high radiation levels. 20 years have gone by, and nothing's been done yet, and it's urgent that it gets replaced. But the Ukraine doesn't have any more money. Neither do we.
A new sarcophagus is underway, but its construction is already 10 years behind schedule. It is a structure 350 feet tall, meant entirely to cover the first sarcophagus. It will cost $1 billion. An international fund, led by Hans Blix, has been set up.
We still have not put a new sarcophagus on it. It will be in a couple of years' time. When that is done, well, then they can, in due course, make
BLIX.
masses of spent fuel or sort of melted fuel, which is there.
20 years after the explosion, the cooled magma at the reactor's core, nearly 50 feet underground, is still a terrible threat and will remain so for years to come.
I pray God the sarcophagus never collapses. That would be the worst thing that could happen, because inside there are 100 kilograms of plutonium. 1 microgram is a lethal dose for a human being. That means there's enough plutonium to poison 100 million people. The half-life of plutonium, in other words, the time it takes for half of the plutonium to disappear, is 245,000 years. This is something we could thus consider eternal. There are areas where there will never be life again.
Despite this terrible warning, interest in nuclear power appears to be increasing once again. In the US, more than a dozen utility companies hope to build new nuclear plants to meet increasing energy demand and to reduce our reliance on fossil fuels which cause global warming. Nuclear energy may ultimately help reduce global warming, but this lifeless landscape will serve as an eternal.
Five years ago. All neat and neatly in a row. Until 2005, all the cars and helicopters were there. Okay, until 2005. Well, all the cars have disappeared. 2002, 2012, 2013. Where did the being scrapped in 2000. They scrapped them all? How could they? They're radioactive. How you scrap something radioactive?
We talk to clients all the time and how their lives are just literally flipped upside down. It's awful.
Post-apocalypse, or how the civil and military equipment abandoned in Chernobyl looks like today. The largest man-made disaster in the history of mankind occurred on April 26, 1986, as a result of the accident at the Chernobyl nuclear.
Okay, that came out 3 years ago.
Post-apocalypse, or how the civil and military equipment abandoned in Chernobyl looks like today. The largest man-made disaster in the history of mankind occurred on April 26, 1986, as a result of the
Fire
accident
trucks.
at the Chernobyl nuclear power plant. The fourth power unit exploded. The reactor was completely destroyed, and the huge number of harmful substances got out to the environment. As a result, 134 people suffered from radiation sickness of varying severity, and more than 115,000 people were evacuated from the 30-kilometer zone around. How did the remains of impacted equipment look like 20 years ago? How are things now? The most important and alarming sequences of the incident was massive radioactive pollution. The largest fallout of radioactive elements fell on the territories of the present Republic of Belarus, Ukraine, and the Russian Federation closest to Chernobyl. Elimination of the consequences of the accident, as well as the evacuation of the local population and property, required the use of a huge number of vehicles. Military equipment, including helicopters and trucks, was sent to help the liquidators.
Fire truck.
Numerous fire trucks were involved in the operation. The fate of all this technique turned out to be as sad as the fate of many people, liquidators. In addition to the equipment directly involved in the liquidation of the consequences of the accidents, a huge number of personal cars remained in the disaster zone, as well as public transport, ships and trains that could not be taken out of the zone due to the radioactive pollution. Today, these machines survive under the scrutiny.
Not the way you're talking. You talk like an idiot. Hey, the person,
of the atom will make it possible to
she's talking like an idiot. The person was talking sound like an idiot. Zill. So I still use a Zill. Laz 695. It's a bus. From 56 to 08. Gas 66. That'd be pretty cool. Actually. V8 engine, 120 horsepower. That'd be cool to have in Michigan. Those were in the mud. we're gonna have here in Michigan. Not a bad one. I'm not into helicopters though. $88 miles an hour. Wow, that's not bad. It's a neat helicopter though. But like I said, I'm not in choppers. I'm more into cars. You go to the airport, don't you? Yeah, I go to the airport. Fire the gun. Baz 101, 2101, straight 4, VAZ 2101. ZIL 157, 6-cylinder. It was limited for 1 year. That sucks. Limited for 1 year. That sucks. And there's some thick mud in Russia. Or the Soviet Union, I should say. That's Russia. I can tell you to play. It's Russia. There's a lot of thick mud. I wish I could do something like that. I wish you built a replica of one of those vehicles, America. BRDM-2, ACP tank. V8 engine. I could build a Russian car, couldn't I? Technically build a Russian car. I could, but put an American engine inside it. .485. Well, that's pretty neat. There's wheels under it. That's pretty different. So actually 8 wheels. Gas 53. That's cute. I like the color. Oh. That doesn't make safe. You're 80 kph. That's not bad. Never a helicopter that I'm not interested. I would not want. I'm not picky. I just don't want helicopters. The Ural 375 V8 cylinder V8. Okay, that was interesting. But still, if I had the money, I'd buy I had the money, I would build something like that. But then I buy one of those vehicles and restore it. Maybe. If I could, I'd buy myself American. Nope, can't do it though because I'm not. I'm not stupid. There's a war going on. I wouldn't go to Chernobyl.
Paying with Cash App card feels pro because your round is turned on.
Give me 17 cents on Bitcoin. I listed this in less than a minute. Want extra cash? It's easy with the Poshmark app. Download to start selling today.
PM.
The splitting of the atom will make it possible to create the deadliest. 4 100-watt bulbs. Later, the experimental reactor name.
Just having some fun right now, guys. Just relaxing. Claire. Yeah, I know the channel works out pretty good. Like my YouTube channel, it's doing pretty good.
Don't park in the car. There's another property that doesn't belong to you guys in there. You two have warrants. You don't. That's the good news. So you two are going to go to jail for your warrants tonight. So I need you both to stand up. Go stand up for me. Go.
Eventually, we were ready to go again.
Sorry about that. Right, we're off.
Forgive me for saying this, but how hard can it be?
Well, that episode sucks. We're gonna watch this now, which is something different. We'll just be on for a while. Maybe have hot dogs there. Yeah. Or not, who knows?
Tonight we have a race to Blackpool. The new Lamborghini comes to our studio, and at last, the Bugatti Veyron is on our track.
Ooh, about time. Okay, what's this? That's it.
Now, every week, either Richard or I drive a preposterously fast car around our track. But when it came to making this week's film, there was a problem. Neither of us was available. I'd hurt my neck in the lorry crash, and Richard was busy selling fish at Morrison's. Which meant, for the first time ever, Captain Slowwood's out there. God help us.
When I arrived, the track was enveloped in typical British autumnalness.
Right, here we go. Top Gear test track, my patch for the day. Now, I've been very, very insistent with the offer. I don't want to find some look-at-me two-door Italian supercar with a 250 miles per hour speedo and a £250,000 price tag or any of that sort of rubbish. I want to drive something more like, well, to be honest, something. Oh, cock. Surely not.
Well, since the choice is testing this or the Panda, I suppose it better be this, which is a Pagani Zonda.
And not just any old Zonda at that. That is the Zonda F Roadster.
And in the already insane world of Pagani, this one has its own special padded sound.
Regular car, 555 horsepower. This one, 650. Let's try it out.
This may be my first Zonda, but it happens to be the fastest one you've ever tested.
Acceleration is so brutal. My eyes have moved around the side of my head like a pigeon.
I think I know what's doing this one. This car is made entirely out of improbable numbers.
Wow. A Bugatti Zonda. Hey guys, what's up? Anything you want to say? Put in the chat. We're just killing some time right now.
125 miles per hour to naught in 4.4 seconds. And my eyeballs are back in the correct position on the front of my face.
There is, though, one other number that dwarfs all of these, and it's the F-Roadster's price.
It's 825,000 pounds. Bringing you credit crunch news.
800 and something. That's a lot of money, even in American currency.
But we haven't just brought this thing along to show you some high-priced hyperform. You see, the F-Roadster is the swan song for the current Zonda. Next year, there'll be a brand new one, but the original will always be a bit
A Pagani.
You know when we brought Top Gear back to the tap back in 2002, the Zonda was the car we featured in the very first show, and we really liked it. But there was always that nagging feeling that here come another bunch of hopeless optimists who think they know better than Ferrari.
So it's here Pagani, Bugatti, Penzos.
But it hasn't happened.
Let's see here. Let's see here. Pagani, Bugatti, Morgan, Penzos, and Kurgenseg. They make all their cars, technically, by hand, technically.
The small boy veteran wall poster that used to be a Lamborghini. You know, it's got ridiculous bodywork and ray guns, probably, and switches from the lunar module. And I think he's right, but there is something.
They still make their cars by hand. But Tyler, what's Penzos? Penzos is an American car company that 99% of the car is made in America, outside of Atlanta, Georgia. I don't even know if Penzos is even still around, though. But Penzos, I think it's pronounced Penzos. They're based out of outside Atlanta, Georgia, and they make their cars in the U.S. So that's pretty neat. I don't know where Paganis are made at, but I know where Penzos. Penzos are pretty cool looking cars. I think I pronounced it right. I'm not sure. Penzos. Actually, it came out perfectly. Wow. Panos. P-A... Okay. Panos.
Now, the office say they have another car to try on track, but I shouldn't worry because it's only a VW. Funny.
P-A-N-Z-O-S.
Bugatti Veyron finally on our track, and we're going to put it straight to work. I believe the dumb thing at this point is to have drag race, so if nobody objects, we'll have one with these two. Since I've got my eye in with the Zonda, I took that, and the Veyron would be in the hands of the Stig, who wasn't here earlier.
On paper, this looks like a bit of a one-horse race because the Veyron is a full second quicker than this car to 60. 2.5 seconds, 3.5 seconds.
But you never know, he might miss at the start.
O-Z. Now, Penzos are cool cars.
Despite running over half a
This is a logo. That's a logo.
That is the power of power.
Like I said, they're based out of Atlanta, Georgia. I don't even know if they're still making cars. I'm going to Wikipedia to see. I know Wikipedia is not always accurate, but that's what I got. That's what I got. The company's been 30. Cars been around for wow. The company started back in about 36 years ago, as it's recording. They were made in America.
2 years, yeah. We're going to find out how fast the most powerful car in the world goes round our track.
It is going to be quite a moment, because it's going to be up here somewhere. But of course, we've already had quite a moment. You for the first time out there. And how was it?
Smooth as silk. It's a piece of cake.
Who here would like to see some of the outtakes of James's? Let's play the tape somewhere. I'll have a look. Oh dear, that's the car that's gone wrong. Here we go again, gone wrong. Here we go again, it's gone wrong.
They're still making cars, guys. But yeah, I mean, they're based out of Atlanta, and they still make their cars by hand. Like most of their cars, all the parts are mostly made in America. That's what the company is famous for. They also had an episode. They also their cars were on Monster Garage. So yeah.
I think what it was is that you stepped out of the Panda into the Zonda, which is like weaning a baby off breast milk and straight onto port.
I can't believe you got to drive that Zonda. It is my all-time favourite supercar. It's just that mixture of.
So yeah. So it's like 5 cars still make the cars by hand still.
You were given the choice, drive the Zonda or sell fish for a northern supermarket, and you chose the fish.
But you can't seriously prefer the Zonda to the Bugatti.
I do, because the Zonda's got some pantomime to it. The Bugatti's just too controlled. It's like sitting in a physics lesson.
Were you watching that drag race?
Yes.
Did you see what the physics lesson did to your pantomime day?
Yes. You had annihilated it. And hang on, if you could just listen for a moment. What's that I'm not hearing?
Anyone not hearing that as well?
Is anybody else not hearing the Zonda being taken around the track by the Stig for a lap?
I wonder if it's got anything to do with what happened this morning when it arrived. Here we go. First corner, the very first corner. What's that coming out of
That's a bit like slow.
That's slow. Yes, see, it's a proper supercar. It didn't just come down to the track and go.
It blew his clutch.
The big boy came to the track and exploded immediately. That's what supercars do. It's proper.
Even as we speak, several stylish Italian mechanics are looking at the engine in the Zonda, hoping they can coax some life into it. And maybe, just maybe,
Most likely blew the clutch, most likely.
Zonda versus Bugatti.
And we'll see, then we'll sort it out. Right now, we've always thought there's absolutely no reason for anyone to own a Persian.
Hang on.
See?
Anyone here got a Peugeot?
I had a Dodge. Does it count? I have a Dodge and I have a Plymouth. Does it count? Because a Peugeot is on my Stellantis, which actually is Peugeot, Citroen, Chrysler, Dodge, Plymouth.
They're lovely. No, really, apart from being given what I can't think of simple reasons.
Well, the thing is, Peugeot decided to address this. The thing they have with this is the partner TP.
It looks like a Citroen.
Because they fitted it with a roof box that kind of goes inside over the seats like that. And they said it's ideal for storing normal things like a surfboard. So, what they're saying is if you're a surfer who wants a car with a loft, you can keep your surfboard in.
Are there any surfers here?
Yep.
Yes, there are. Who's a surfer? Do you like to keep it dry? Because that's what it's how many surfers are there? Get my surfboard wet.
It's not going well.
This isn't going well. But fans, this has a big brother called the Experts TP. There it is. No. They say that this is designed for a family, a 3-children family, where one child plays a drum kit, one plays a tuba, and one plays a double bass.
Well, they're not actually that specific.
Yes, they are.
That's you guys.
What sort of band are those kids in, anyway?
Just the National Youth Salvation Army Dixieland Jazz Band Orchestra of Great Britain.
Why is it called a teepee that fascinates me? That's the Americans going to come and steal it and let you build a casino where it used to be.
How much is it?
Oh, I don't care. I just couldn't give a damn. If your sister gives you one of those, just say no, all right? Just... you know Boris Johnson, okay, Mayor of London. I was driving around behind a bus this week. I took a photograph of the message he's put on it. Okay, this is from the Mayor of London, and it says, amazing, changing gears at lower roads reduces your CO2 emissions and saves you money. I was then reading GQ magazine, okay, a road test here of a Ferrari 430, and it says, the essence of it, in my view, is not to change up until you hit about 6,000 revs. This was written by somebody called Boris Johnson.
Ooh.
Yeah.
The slippers.
Yeah.
Are they?
Of course they're there.
Oh, big news.
Is it a Dacia Sandero?
No. It's the European Car of the Year 2008 is the replacement for the Vauxhall Vectra. Ladies and gentlemen, the Vauxhall Insignia.
You had to look that up, then, didn't you? You forgot it was called.
It's still another GM car. It's a GM car still. It was until they sold it to Peugeot. That's right. Opel and Vauxhall are now owned by Stellantis, which it used to be. It's funny though because Vauxhall and Opel used to be owned by GM. GM sold them to Peugeot, which is part of Stellantis.
There's a German panel of CTEX.
And I've invited them all to your house for Christmas.
Oh, God. Where did you put them? No, stand up. Have voted to give it their coveted accolade for the quality of the seats. They've praised the quality.
Oh, that's rubbish. It's like those
So yeah, Vauxhall and Opel used to be GM. They're now part of PSA, which is now Stellantis, which owns Chrysler. It owns the Chrysler division. You know, Ram, Plymouth, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep.
hard than soft.
That's quite awkward, actually.
What? Ice.
Who got us out of it?
Yeah, well,
Police actually is I-16 plural.
Can we move on, please?
Yes.
Because earlier on in the summer, we three were invited to switch on Blackpool's famous Christmas lights. Now, it's quite a big deal. Look at the pantheon of greats who've had the call in the past. Frank Bath, Ken Dodd, Danny LaRue, Cannon and Ball, and now us.
Problem is, of course, that it only takes one person to flick a light switch. So, to decide which one of us would actually do that, the producers organised a race to Blackpool. First one there would get their name in the history books.
Unfortunately, they decided that the starting point for this race would be in Basel, which is here in Switzerland, and that is 750 miles from the light switch.
And here's the tricky bit. They said we could only use one tank of fuel. We could fill our cars in Basel, but then the tanks would be sealed.
I thought it was a stupid idea. 750 miles.
We did in the US, but we went to Portland to
50
Frisco.
miles of careful driving. That's not a race. It's my idea of hell.
That's my idea of heaven. Anyway, we could use any production car we liked, and we weren't allowed to modify it in any way.
They did that in Top Gear USA. They went from Portland to Frisco, which is about
Place was in the center
700 miles.
the night before the off. This is the car I'd chosen, a Subaru Legacy Diesel. Yes, it's a big four-wheel drive
Okay.
estate, but
A
it
Subaru
has a
Diesel.
large fuel tank, which gives good range. That's my idea of heaven. Anyway,
I think say put in the chat, and I'll read it.
any production car we liked, and
Put in the
we
chat.
weren't allowed to
I'm sorry, guys. The camera got reversed recently. So when I point this way or this way, it got reversed a little bit. So yeah.
Our meeting place was in the centre of Basel, the night before the off. This is the car I'd chosen, a Subaru Legacy Diesel. Yes, it's a big four-wheel drive estate, but it has a large fuel tank, which gives good range.
Okay.
And this is the car Jeremy
A Jag.
because he's an idiot.
A Jaguar.
Twin turbo Jaguar XJ6 TDVI.
If I had a choice, I'd buy something else.
7.8 seconds, top speed 141.
You're not trying to get to 60, are you? You're trying to get to Blackpool.
There's no point.
What?
I've been explaining this to you for weeks. That we're not going to be able to do it. If you're going to fail, you may as well fail in style and comfort. Whereas James would
Got things to say put in the chat. I'll read your question. I'll read your answer. I'll read everything put in the chat, guys.
Worst diesel engine I've ever come across. It has no torque.
A Super Diesel's different.
Then when you go to second, I'd rather go to Blackpool in one of those horrible eco Volkswagen Blue Motion things.
Oh, that hideous little polo.
Yeah, the 3-cylinder. Richard then arrived in a Polo Blue Motion.
Volkswagen Polo.
What are you thinking of, man? Miles per gallon. 35?
50. You ask me?
How many miles per gallon does it?
Well, you see, this is a VW Polo Blue
We
Motion.
know what it
It's
is.
one of the most economical cars money can buy. 74.
74 miles to the gallon.
But it's not a hybrid or anything. It's an ordinary car underneath, but they've made it extra aerodynamic, so we're shrouded in the grille. Tiny door mirrors, so you just cut through the air with barely a ripple.
Got things to say, guys. Put in the chat. I'll read it. I'm just racking to random crap on TV.
3-cylinder 1.4 litre diesel engine. There it is. Look at that. Yeah, it's under.
So diesels, 2 diesels, and
That's just saved you a bit of weight there.
So-
Wow. If it's an eco car, why have they put that on it?
So that when you open your bonnet, when your mates are around, they don't realise that you've got a pathetic three-cylinder.
So you know, and the car stuff, there's one other question. You don't need that. There's one other question, because it kept cropping up when I was choosing my car. How big is the fuel tank in this?
10 gallon.
10 gallons and it's 74 miles to the gallon, 740 mile range. How far's Blackpool?
750 miles, I think, isn't it?
So there you go. And you?
Well, hang on a second. Now, what can you expect?
Well, the range is 706 miles.
Not far enough.
Well, 655.
Right.
I told you, it's pointless. It's a pointless challenge.
Nevertheless, in the very
It's risky.
early hours of the following morning, we assembled at a Swiss filling station to bring our tanks and make some final checks.
Coop. COOP. Coop.
Richard made sure his tyre pressures were correct, because if they were even slightly down, it could cost him 20 miles. And I taped up my cracks.
This might all be worth 200 yards, but the last bit of the journey is 200 yards long.
Jeremy, meanwhile, confident of failure, was having breakfast.
Those two are taking it so seriously.
One of the most important factors in economy runs is lightness, which is why Jeremy and I had packed James's luggage. Yeah, that's paperweight, just in case.
You're really funny then.
But just what if you need
What if you need a wishbone?
Yeah.
A wishbone for a truck.
And then a lorry driver needs a gearbox. You can give him one.
Because we should.
A truck.
It's spoiling an otherwise very, very interesting experiment.
Name one thing that's going to happen today that is interesting.
We're about to do the impossible, and that feels good.
Top Gear's always succeeding. We're always.
With the tanks brimmed, the filler caps were sealed with impenetrable gaffer tape. And then at exactly 11 minutes past 4, we were ready for the off.
See, it's 4 in the morning.
I won't start the car until the last minute.
Coop.
That has to be the dullest start to any Top Gear race ever. In fact, any race in history.
I don't know if you're looking forward to Top Gear tonight, but you can do something else, obviously.
I never seen this video.
One man in Europe looking forward to 17 hours of mental arithmetic.
60 miles per gallon, my average so far.
I'm doing pretty good on the channel. I did an episode of pinball. People wanted me to do. I did an episode of pinball today. Checked it and did this. So yeah. Later on today, I'll be doing B stars after dinner tonight. Maybe we'll see. I'm gonna do B stars tonight. Got to at least do one episode of B stars tonight. One chapter.
There's no point getting there when James has already said I declare these lights on.
Weirdly, we'd all chosen different ways of getting from Basel to the Channel. Richard opted for the shortest route through towns, villages, and worst of all, the Vosges Mountains.
Ooh.
But this didn't seem
755.
There's the odd hill. Doesn't matter because you're going to go up, but then you've got to come down again. I'm going down to sea level to the tunnel. It'll average out, and this is all about averages. It'll average out as downhill.
Okay.
Past Strasbourg and Metz was 30 miles further than Hammond, but there'd be fewer hills and
785.
less traffic.
Thinking ahead is what it's about.
Hmm.
Planning so that I don't brake unnecessarily, because what is not understood is that braking effectively wastes fuel. It turns the kinetic energy in the car into heat.
As James did science, Jeremy was heading in the wrong direction. He'd elected to stick to the motorways, which meant his route was 836 miles, almost 200 more than the Jag could do.
And that means I'll run out more quickly, and then I'll just check into the little pub. Have a juicy steak and go to sleep.
You may have noticed there that I was wearing a high visibility jacket.
Very good reason for this, because the French recently and very quietly introduced a law saying you've got to have one of these in your car at all times. Maybe we should introduce a law saying that you've got to have onions in the boot of your car. Don't announce it and then just fine every Frenchist who arrives in Dover without any.
As we drove through the darkness, my pessimism began to spread.
Average 64.6, that's not enough. It's just not enough, I won't do it.
Instant fuel consumption went down from 65 miles per gallon to 52, and that's not good enough. No, it's uphill. Oh, God.
I, however, was delighted because I just worked out that if I went fast enough, I could conk out on the M40, just a few minutes from my house.
Range 605 miles, that's perfect!
That meant I could spend my time wondering which of my colleagues would be best suited to switching on Blackpool's fairy lights.
Think about it, Danny LaRue, Kendall, Cannonball, Hammond, it has a ring.
So he wants to break down and on the 40, take the 40 and walk home off the 40. Okay, that's pretty interesting. I didn't know she would make diesels.
I'm on an economy ride, saving the planet, and you in your bus with nobody in it pulled out in front of me and made me slow down. I used my brakes, and then I'm going to accelerate again, which uses more fuel.
I too was having problems in the Jag.
How can a V6 twin turbo in a car that's 375 yards long possibly be doing 49 miles to the gallon? 49.1! It's going up!
At this rate, I'd be running out near Birmingham rather than on my doorstep. It was therefore time to break.
One British, one German, one Japanese cars.
Don't want to get too hot because, of course, I'm not going to put the air conditioning on. Some people calculate that it can reduce your efficiency by about 10%.
That's fine by me, mate.
I've got everything on, air-conditioned seats. I'm even heating the passenger seat for no good reason other than to burn fuel.
Despite being in France, I even powered up the radio.
I don't speak French.
After 3 hours, the little Polo was off the A roads and on the motorway. I was a few miles ahead of Hypermine Lane, 69 miles.
Ooh, that's not bad.
But way behind Hyperspace at Clarkson.
81 miles an hour.
Amazingly, my car was now doing 78 mpg.
That's not bad.
My average mpg now is enough. I can make it, but my average speed, I won't make it in time.
Hammond!
Hello?
I'm bored!
What are your figures? Tell me your numbers.
Average speed?
Yes?
63.
Wow, that's immense.
What's yours?
Not good. 34.
You're not going to make Blackpool till about Sunday.
Yeah, that's the problem I have there. Yeah. And what's your predicted range of your car?
It says I'm going to be out of fuel in 450 miles. Blackpool, 669 miles away.
Frankly, it didn't look like any of us were going to be turning on the lights that night.
1, 2, 1, 2. Ladies and gentlemen, all the way BBC Two's Top Gear. Please welcome nobody. Meanwhile, many miles to the north, the people of Blackpool were waking up to their big day, unaware that us three wouldn't be there. However, having known all along that this was a possibility, the show's producers had sent backup.
The Stig. Oh my God! They sent the Stig to Blackpool. He is going to be going crazy.
Thanks to some careful driving, all our cars were starting to hit their targets.
Overall fuel consumption 68 miles per gallon. That is excellent.
64.9 mpg. I'm averaging right now. That is.
That's not bad. 74.
Fuel is burning away nicely, 29 miles to the gallon.
The only problem was boredom, and that was made worse by a phone call from James.
Well, I just did a bit more mental calculations looking at the statistics for the car.
Luckily, you're breaking up, James.
I said I've done a little bit more number crunching on the statistics for the cars.
Well, for the one viewer we have left who isn't now watching Midsummer Murders.
I may have been bored, but at least I didn't need the loo.
I'm quite desperate for a pee.
In Blackpool, though, our man on the ground wasn't bored at all.
A haunted house.
8 hours into my doomed run, and I was now bearing down on Calais.
Hammond is currently 30 miles behind me. He's dropping back at the rate of about 20 seconds a mile. He might make Blackpool tomorrow.
Okay.
Jeremy was right. I might have been getting almost 80 mpg, but what was the point? So I'm going to spend a bit more fuel to get there on time. So let's bring that average fuel consumption down and average speed up. This is a race.
Getting 80 miles a gallon. That's good.
Someone else had the same idea.
Richard Hammond.
No, no.
He put his mirrors in.
Ladies and gentlemen.
He put his mirrors in.
I too thought it was time to trade fuel for speed, and so began the dullest duel in history.
Oh, no instant MPG.
Mustn't just put my foot down. No, plummeting, 49.
Channel tunnel. Let the cats out. It's 3 o'clock. No cats up. Yeah, unlocks. Quick. Yeah, I think she's doing that.
That fuel gauge, I've got a third of the tank to get folks into Blackpool. Why not bothering? Why don't you just stab lunch?
Half an hour behind Jeremy, our spine-tingling race had ended in a dead heat with the toll booth.
Some goals are ass. Economic.
On the train, Hammond saved weight by emptying his bladder, while I went even further.
Many London. Do you mind awfully taking this wheel? And it's quite heavy and I'm trying to save fuel. I think that could make 0.2 of a mile per gallon.
You can't modify the car though.
To depart, I arrived back in Blighty to help my high
Blighty, that's where wheel dealers are.
The finish line firmly in my sights.
That's where wheel dealers are.
Over to North Oxford, on a third of the tank. Sounds about right. Aircon on, cool seats on, radio on.
The Blackpool Illuminations get switched on this evening by the hosts of BBC Two's Top Gear, Jeremy Clarkson, Richard Hammond and James May.
I don't think so, Steve. I don't think any of us will be doing it.
Really? Wonder who's gonna do it? Where's the sticky?
You've always fancied a supercar, you need space to carry stuff like children, luggage, a hat, maybe a pencil. Your only choice has been this, the four-door Maserati Quattroporte.
Now, though, Porsche and Aston Martin are thinking.
I'd like to.
Oh, HE.
I'm really pleased with that.
You are pleased?
Yeah, no, I beat Steve Cooper because he likes cars.
He
He
does.
was always in cars.
And not only did he beat Steve Cooper, you are by far our most improved guest. Ladies and gentlemen, Harry Enfield!
I don't know who you are.
We are having a race from Basel in Switzerland to Blackpool. First one there gets the honour of switching on the town's famous illuminations.
Unfortunately, we only had one tank of fuel, which meant we could drive slowly, conserve petrol, but run the risk of not getting there on time, or we could drive a bit more quickly, but then run the risk of not getting there at all.
James and I were taking it very seriously. When we left the action, we were here, waiting for our Channel Tunnel train to set off. Jeremy, meanwhile, had decided the whole thing was impossible. He'd chosen a big jam, driven through France like a loony, caught an earlier train than us, and was hoping to run out of fuel as soon as he could.
Finally, the producers had sent the Stig on ahead to Blackpool as a stand-in in case none of us made it.
Oh, that's neat. Oh, that's kind of neat. Oh, poor Stig. He has to watch it. She's just miserable.
With just over 7 hours to the big switch on, James and I were spat out of the Eurotunnel. Rush hour, Friday night. Over 300 miles to do this. I've got enough fuel. Well, just 295 miles. Look at these two.
The fuel gauge suggests there's not much more than a quarter of a tank left, which means 3.5 gallons. Doesn't sound like enough to me. Maybe quite exciting.
Richard
Most
and I
likely
were
should be
close
others.
together, but soon we'd split, as once again we'd all chosen different routes. Hammond would use the M1 and the M6, whereas I would go all the way up the M1 to Leeds and then over the M62. This was 34 miles further, but I'd missed the notorious M6 traffic jams. Jeremy, meanwhile, was using the M40 because it goes past his house.
Oh.
Ship in Norton, here I come. Phone my wife, tell her I'll be home earlier than expected.
James and I could just about make it, and make it on time, as long as we didn't hit traffic.
Oh, wow.
What the hell is that? I'm losing out in time and fuel. My estimated time of arrival is now slipping again. It's 45 minutes since moved already.
Engine running, not going anywhere. No miles per gallon. In Blackpool, people were starting to arrive for the celebrations, and our man on the ground was preparing by having an afternoon nap.
Sleeping on the roller coaster?
After 2 hours and much wasted fuel, Richard and I were finally...
Oh, that's cute, little beetle.
...where we would soon go our separate ways.
If I'm going to get the Blackpool Spangly jacket, I have to pray that Hammond gets stuck for about 3/4 of an hour in bad traffic around Birmingham.
My mind, however, was only fixed on Jeremy. He must be out of fuel by now. He must be. Surely the gods of economy will punish him. And then the phone rang. Are you at the side of the road yet?
No, stupid thing is still working.
How's it doing that?
It's not possible. I'm 15 minutes from home. Smell my bread. Hammond, I'm so close. Stop.
So hang on.
Stop now. Cough. Die.
Bad luck, right? Soldier on. I love that, yeah. I love it so very much. Because all it can do now is take him further from home. Yeah.
The irritating fact was that after 660 miles of abusive and wasteful driving, the big twin-turbo Jag was telling me it still had 135 miles to go.
Right, if I'm in this competition, I'm in it to win it. Go off.
Now, all of us thought we'd be making the speech that night.
Good folk at Blackpool, it's a delight, an honour, and a pleasure.
Great pleasure to be here tonight to turn on your world famous illumination.
Stick went to the casino?
I declare these lights on.
I had a good lead over the others, but on the M42, trouble.
That's the way. Caravan is only turning on that straight.
That's what I'm stuck in. People slowing down to look at a caravan. Rightly so. I mean, I want to slow down and look at an overturned caravan. There's nothing funnier. It's a big old queue. This is 4 miles at this speed. Hammond's going to be right on my tail.
And so.
I might now try and catch him up, only to find as I catch him up he runs out diesel. But I've used up all mine as well, so maybe I should be prepared to go slowly. And then overtake him when he runs out. Kind of hair and tortoise. No, that's a stupid idea. I don't like it at all. I'm going to go fast.
The law. Excellent. I'm probably about 130 miles away. Peter says I can only do 90 miles.
James thought he had problems. They were nothing compared to mine.
Okay, I've now got an eighth of a tank to get me from Birmingham to Blackpool.
And then the news got worse.
Hammond, where are you?
On the M6 toll, where are you?
On the M6 toll.
We've closed up.
And what's your speed?
70 at the moment.
70? And the ridiculous thing is I've got twice as many cylinders and twice as many turbos, but I can't pull away from you.
Meanwhile, far, far away.
I can't believe it's going to make it now. That petrol gauge is so low.
This is just appalling torture. I'm just sitting here knowing that any minute now Hammond is going to come by.
And then, disaster.
Here I come. No! Hammond! I can't do anything about it!
It's funny you should call. I've just seen somebody who looks just like you. In the Jaguar, doing about 56 miles an hour.
I am not going to race you. Really? No. I am going to sit behind you and watch you fail.
And with Blackpool still 60 miles away, Jeremy was more on the money than he realised.
I'm now going to run out diesel 40 miles away from Blackpool, according to this computer.
With James far behind, it was becoming a straight race between Hammond and me. Both of us were running on fumes, but I was staggered the Jag had even got this far.
Because most of the way through France, I was doing 80 miles an hour, the aircon on, I had the radio on, I was charging phones. Most of the way through Britain, I was doing 70 in stop-start traffic. I haven't been on an eco driving this thing.
Since Birmingham, neither had I. And now I was really paying the price.
Our computer has just ticked over to 0. It's 36 miles to Blackpool. It's telling me nothing. Empty.
Hammond won't make it. James won't make it.
God, this is tense. The fuel gauge says I'm about to run out. Hydromining techniques, gentle on the throttle. Don't let it get to me. Stay calm.
17.4 miles to go. It's telling me I've got nothing left, and I'm just waiting for that cough.
With the Stig baffled by the human food and with 30
Mom.
minutes to go before the big switch on, I was agonising over mounting a charge on Hammond.
It's the stupidest, cleverest phrase ever, because I could easily be if I just put my foot down. I don't know how much fuel is the wash bag and it's got.
And I was watching this.
All American seniors can apply to receive the 2025 food card worth $900. It could even come loaded with more, depending on your area. You can use your card to pay for groceries at stores like Walmart, Kroger, and Albertsons. You can use it to shop at Target, Walgreens, or even Publix for approved items too. But you do need to call today and claim it. If you don't apply in time, you may have to wait another 12 months in order to claim the food card benefit.
If you're over 65 and on Medicare Parts A and B, then call 1-833-335-2475 for free today and see how much you can claim. Again, if you're on Medicare, call 1-833-335-2475 and apply for your $900 food card for free now. That's 1-833-335-2475.
I was struggling with the rising cost of groceries and all my other bills. Luckily, I saw this video and called straight away to claim my $900 food card for 2025. It came within 2 days, and it's been an absolute lifesaver.
If you haven't claimed this yet, call 1-833-335-2475
It didn't show up.
right now to speak with a licensed agent who can help you claim.
Windows are open.
That number again is 1-833-335-2475.